Is this story going to die down, or is there another shoe to drop?
I think as more information comes out, it's certainly a huge story. And then, once training camp starts, we'll see how Laramie Tunsil fits in. But, first of all, huge steal for the Dolphins. And I feel bad for this kid. Really unfortunate events that occurred on draft night that probably cost him at least $12 million.
Do we have any more information on who hacked his account?
Yes, from what I've heard, the Dolphins believe it was a former financial advisor of Laramie Tunsil. So, the way we don't have a name yet of who this is, but, the way I'm imagining how it goes down, this is a guy who Laramie Tunsil had worked with. We don't know how reputable of a financial advisor he was. Obviously, you can't think he's too reputable if he would hack him like this. But probably the guy's in line to make a ton of money once Laramie Tunsil gets his draft pick. Tunsil fires him. And the guy hacked him and sought out to destroy his career the moments before the biggest time of his life.
When Tunsil meets with the local media with the Dolphins, are there questions, topics that are off limits?
We haven't been told that, no, but he's clearly talked to the PR staff. He's not saying anything. When he had his introductory press conference, he just repeatedly said, I'm blessed to be with the Dolphins. I'm blessed to be with the Dolphins. Obviously, that was a day after the disastrous press conference after the draft where he was honest, and he admitted that, yes, he had accepted some money from coaches at Ole Miss. Unfortunately for him, a little too honest. So I imagine we're going to see him guarded for the time being.
I'm just shocked that after he got drafted, he was having a press conference there because nobody really cared that he, about his football talents. It was unfolding right in front of us in real time. How did he get in front of the press in the first place?
Yeah, I think everyone that's in Chicago has a press conference there. And like you said, this was in real time, and this has never happened before. We've never had a situation where moments before the draft, something damaging like this is leaked on social media. And I think that's what happened with the other NFL teams. Teams and GMs can go months and months of draft preparation. They are ready come draft night. There's not a lot of surprises. They might get some trade offers, but they have their board. They have their information. They're ready. There's never been a situation like this where right before the draft, they suddenly have to scramble. And I think a lot of these teams, freaked out. They didn't know what to make of it. They saw the photo. It's not just a guy smoking a joint. This was a bong and a gas mask. It looks bad. I think teams got scared, and that's why you saw him fall on the board. But the Dolphins, they saw it as a steal. They had done their homework, and they said, you know what, we're going to take this guy even if we take a temporary PR hit.
Any local criticism of this draft pick?
I think there's a little bit. You hear some people, especially after, you got to remember, the Dolphins drafted Deion Jordan, number 3, and he's had a lot of drug problems, failed his 3rd drug test. He's been a huge bust. So I think some people are thinking Deion Jordan. But the difference of this pick is Laramie Tunsil has never failed a drug test. I think most people out there realize, hey, college kids smoke pot, NFL players smoke pot. This isn't a huge shocker. He let himself get filmed. He was vulnerable. He got hacked, and it went out there. But the fact that he's never actually failed a drug test, I don't think there's too many fears. I think most people locally say, hey, this worked out well for the Dolphins.
Andrew, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me.
Andrew Abramson, Palm Beach Post, the Dolphins reporter.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.